Okay, traders and hodlers of Tezos. Guys, this recent dump in the market has really caused a lot of people, a lot of ruckus in their brains, and they're thinking like, all right, we should probably get rid of our hodl positions as well because this shakedown was so violent. And guys, let's be honest, we are crypto traders, we are crypto market participants. We have to get used to all of these things, guys. In this video, we will be taking a look at long-term trends on the price action for Tezos against Bitcoin, against Ethereum, and against the US dollar, guys. Now, we'll be taking a look at the bid and ask profiles as well, and the open interest on the derivative markets, guys, specifically on the Binance derivatives market, right? So the first piece of information right here is the bid and ask profile. Now, guys, in a bull trend, whenever you are in a macro bull trend, guys, this green signature on MDR means that you are getting reaccumulated for a possible further expansion to the upside until your price action structure has completely your price action structure has not broken to the downside. Now, the structure in terms of the market capital for Tezos is still intact, and the structure for the price action is still intact as well. So, guys, most likely any down move coming on to some key levels with the price action is going to be a likely reaccumulation before further expansion to the upside. Now, this is what the bid and ask profile is quite telling of the fact. Now, guys, this is why these levels on Tezos were not sustainable. You had crazy amount of asks, guys, crazy amount of asks. So many people were selling. Basically, there were so many sellers on these areas. No bids, guys, no bids. As we were proceeding to the upside, the bidders were completely dissipating off of the market. Now, as you are getting down in the price action, guys, people are looking at areas of interest. People are looking at areas of values. So if the weak hands are capitulating in the market, guys, people who are actually looking at these projects are taking away your Tezos that you're selling, most likely. But if you're still hodling your Tezos in this bull run, it's completely fine, guys. It's completely okay to hodl things until Bitcoin is actually losing grounds of the 21 simple weekly moving average. It's as simple as that. Until we are hovering above that on BTC price action, all the major crypto assets are gonna get bid onto some key levels, guys. This is what this market depth ratio is telling of right away, guys. Now, this data is coming from Bitfinex, HitBTC, Binance Global, Binance US, Kraken, most of the major exchanges where most of the liquidity is flowing in and out for the Tezos markets itself, guys. Now, the next piece of information is the open interest happening on Tezos. Now, guys, this started going down. The open interest, basically, the open interest means that the number of long positions or the number of short positions on a particular asset, wherever it is trading on in a derivatives market, guys. This data is from derivatives, right? So what this tells right here is that the price action went to certain key levels and the open interest started going down, which means that long positions started taking profits. Guys, we are going down, price action going up means that long exposure is getting out of the market. Doesn't mean that you're getting some new short positions interest. So this means that we do not have any macro top under formulation right now, guys. We are not looking at open interest rising with the price going down. Had the open interest been rising with the price going down, this would have mean that short positions are entering the market. Sellers are getting into the open interest in terms of the price action behavior as well. So this means that longs are taking profit, guys. Most likely this will stop bleeding onto some key levels in terms of price action. Let's take a look at the charts as well, guys. We have XTZ against the USD on Binance, guys. Now, this clearly looks to me like a retest as of now. This is the 3-day time frame. Let me put on the moving averages back on as well. The 21 simple moving average is right here at the support. So basically this means that in the coming days and the week as well, guys, we really have to hold on to the $5 levels. Now, $5 levels on Tezos is going to be critical for the mid time frame as well. As you can see, guys, the $5 level is aligning perfectly with the open interest getting away also. Guys, look, open interest could start picking up from these levels. Now, if you see open interest getting up and the price action closing constantly above the 21 simple moving average on 3-day time frame, this would mean that this is a successful retest in a macro breakout, guys. This is a macro breakout. So if the price really has to rally from these levels and make its way all the way towards some key interesting, well, you guys, this is why logarithmic chartings on these formulations are quite weird, to be honest with you. Now, the ultimate target was lying all the way towards the $8 levels, but guys, this is not how we're really going to derive our targets. We are going to be deriving our targets to the upside with the help of some Fibonacci magical freaking numbers, right? So guys, you did shook off of the 1.618 extension, hovering on to the areas of $7.24 levels, guys. We got rejected with open interest going down. likely a possible retest of the 21 simple moving average. This should hold up, guys. This should hold up. Now this situation right here on the price action is quite similar to something like this and this as well. You do have some violent shakedown move to the downside, but guys, you do revert to the mean, guys. In this particular case, the mean is the 21 simple moving average right here, aligning perfectly with the $5 level. So until on a 3-day opening and a closing basis, you're actually going to be going below the $5 levels. Tezos is looking completely fine in terms of trading. Now guys, if you are really going to be trending below the $5 levels on 3-day closing and opening basis, that should start ringing some red bells. Now the point of this entire video is to stay vigilant, guys. Now there could be some fundamental price action behavior change happening in the market because of the Bitcoin price levels, guys. We start losing hold on the 50k levels on BTC, guys. All the altcoin pairs against USDT most likely are not going to perform better in terms of the market price action behavior as well, right? So guys, this means that your $5 levels is quite necessary on these levels on Tezos as well. If you do lose out on this one, we'll be looking at the first retest of the $4.5 levels, and then ultimately most likely we're going to be coming back down to the Fibonacci simple moving average, guys. Now that is no brainer, complete no brainer. If you lose hold on the 21 simple, you're coming back to 55 simple moving average, aligning with your $3.5 levels. Now we are standing at 5.5. we're talking about 3.5, guys. It is possible. I would not say it is not possible, but I think we're going to be triggering this move to the downside if Bitcoin loses the 50k levels, guys. That's it, right? Now the significance of this moving average is going to be derived out of this entire region right here, guys. Ever since we really had this bullish cross happening between the 55 and the 21 simple moving average, this has been on a rip to the upside, guys. Now this cross happened onto the $2.5 levels. You're up nearly 200% on this entire leg to the upside. This was a single leg move to the upside. Now you want to consolidate here, guys. Look, nothing would go to the upside constantly. Things have to, it's not easy to hodl as well. If you are hodling some assets, if you're specifically hodling crypto assets, you have to get used to volatility, guys. You simply have to. Now there are good days and then there are bad days as well, right? Now there were a couple of good days followed by a bad day reverting to the mean. Now similarly we had good days following up with some bad days reverting to the mean, right? $5 is quite likely a mean price action, guys. Now you can wick below these areas, but as far as your ultimate candle closure is happening above the 21 simple, you're fine, guys. The structure is fine. Going on to the RSI, guys, well, this one is losing hold of the 60 on the RSI ticker as well. Now the most significant one is going to be this grind right here, guys. If you start trending below this grind and lose hold of the 60, most likely you could be poised for a retest of the 55 simple moving average. Now is that a death sentence? No, this is called good news. Why is this called good news, guys? Because you'll be able to accumulate Tezos on a better price, which is 35% lower to these levels. Now you must be catching on to your breaths if you are completely naked long exposed on derivatives market, guys. If you are in long exposures on Tezos against USD, let's just say maybe on 10x leverage and beyond, which is anyway it's, guys, going on to some positions on 10x leverage is anyway a fool's game, to be honest with you, in these anyway giving markets, right? If you are leveraged onto such levels, yeah, you would most likely be holding on to your breath in the coming days, guys, as these retest, guys. These down moves on a bull trend are quite quite shaky. They're quite violent, guys, because of the behavior, because of the greed, guys, because of the greed in these markets during a bull trend is just crazy. It's just complete madness, right, guys? Let's check out the daily time frame as well, as the last candle was a simple rejection of the 21 simple daily moving average. Now the preceding candle was a simple retest. Now could you argue that this was a retest of the simple moving average? Yeah, certainly. Yeah, you were simply you were like a percent shy away from the Fibonacci simple moving average. Now could have been a retest right here. What played out right here was the divergence between this point and this point right here, guys, and this is most likely played out. There is yet another bearish or a consolidation fact that we are dealing with, is the fresh new TSI cross, guys. This is a fresh new bearish cross on TSI. Is the death sentence? No, but it means that until the TSI is crossed to the downside, this is most likely going to be a pretty choppy behavior on XTZ against US dollar. So if you're holding this one, you're completely fine until the $3.5 levels. But if you're trading this one, and if you do have a long exposure on Tezos coming onto these levels, you will be holding on to your breaths, guys. You will be holding on to your breaths, and you will be regretting about the fact that why did you why did you went for the 10x long exposure on something like Tezos, which is anyway volatile? But guys, anything in this crypto market is extremely volatile. That's why leverage plays are gonna give you headaches, guys. They're gonna give you headaches, especially when you are going for this reset onto the price action, guys. Most likely formulating another higher low right here, but when it actually happens, it's gonna give you a headache. Now, this comes from a personal experience, and I've done this so many times, and I've missed out on guys, let's just say I was not able to really sleep while I was doing these, while I was trying to manage these positions, while I was trying to manage leveraged exposure in the market. Leverage exposure in these markets is just madness, guys. It's not going to work out in the long run. If you are exposed in the markets with even 1 or 2x leverage, it's completely fine, to be honest with you. But if you're going beyond 4x or 5x leverage, it's just madness. It's simple bonkers, right? I guess this down move would have given you all the lessons that you wanted to learn, right? Guys, let's jump over to the extreme small time frames as well. Let's check out just to be curious. Now, you're dealing with the 4hour 200 simple moving average as well. You could chop around here. You could formulate yet another low right here, aligning with this entire trend. To be honest with you, you could make something like this in terms of price action behavior. Basically, you could have a 10% volatile range until you do formulate this low right here above the $5 levels, and then you can accumulate, and then you can make another significant move to the upside, guys, particularly heading on to the 1.272 levels at first. And then if you do take this one out, guys, I don't think you're going to be stopping at the 1.618. I think you're going to be setting free towards the $10 levels. Now, I did post a video on Tezos with all the altcoins that were about to explode this month. It did, guys. Actually, I did put out this video when Tezos was resolving this particular range to the upside, right? Whereas I was talking about how your risk management onto this trend could be alongside these lows, guys. Now, but not this one right here particularly, but these lows, right? As far as you're maintaining higher low structure above these lows right here, you're going to be completely fine. And that thesis, that analysis is still valid. That analysis from the previous video is still valid on Tezos. As far as you're not really violating the $3.5 levels to the downside, you are simply formulating structures which are going to be higher lows, guys. simple freaking higher lows. No need for me to use those fancy words onto the trading environment, but guys, it's simply uptrend right here, right? All right, if we jump on to the 12-hour time frame as well, let's just find out, guys. Since I'm actually taking a look at this on every time frame, let's go for the 12-hour as well. Now, the previous 12-hour closure was a massive fuck off rejection candle happening from the 21 simple itself, asking for more reaccumulation onto these levels, right? Now, you did come, guys. Every single time frame is really getting reaccumulated off of the $5 range. This is why your $5 range on Tezos is going to be extremely important in the small time frames as well. All right. Momentum oscillators on 12 are looking extremely not looking really fine, to be honest with you. The TSI is extremely shaped to the downside, but it's not a dead sentence, guys. The price action is going to trump everything. Price action above $5 is perfectly okay for Tezos in terms of US dollar. Now, guys, we are going to be taking a look at Tezos against BTC, and now this is what I want to talk to you guys about. This is the potential bullish cross that we are looking at, guys. Now, this is happening on a 3-day time frame. Don't get me wrong right here. If these bullish crosses, they do take place in a 3-day time frame, they are quite significant, guys. Now, this bearish cross happened right here onto the 29,000 Satoshi levels, and ever since we've really had this bearish cross, there was no tomorrow for Tezos against Bitcoin, to be honest with you. This was a down move of almost about 80%, guys, more than 80% to the downside. Now we are looking at some change of behavior on Tezos against Bitcoin, which is a formulation of this bullish cross right here. Now, to be honest with you, this is quite a violent retest of this bullish cross, not really signifying a lot of strength. But does that mean it's gonna crumble down? It could, but guys, this moving average cross would be confirmed with let's just say 2 or 3-day candle closes onto these levels, right? If you do start closing 3-day candles onto these levels above the 50-hour simple moving average, this will happen, guys. This bullish cross will inevitably happen onto these levels, right? Which would mean that in the coming days and the weeks, if you're really standing hold on these grounds, which is going to be above the 10,000 Satoshis, Tezos will look extremely bullish against the Bitcoin pair, guys. Now, this is going to be your key risk management area. You start looking at some daily closures below these levels, basically below the 9,021 Satoshi, 9,200 Satoshi levels. That would mean that you would be sweeping back to the range lows again onto these levels on the BTC pair, guys, which would be aligning with 6,000 Satoshis. Now, this is a downside price action movement of 30%, guys. Okay, now let's just be very honest with the fact that the Bitcoin dominance is actually crumbling below some key levels. So guys, what would happen if the price really comes down here? It would be an opportunity. It would be look like an opportunity in the first go, at least. If it comes down here, it will have a huge bounce, guys. Most likely it'll retest this cross right here. But what we are looking at is a potential bullish cross. And guys, remember, we are in a bull trend. The macro for most of the crypto assets is bullish. This is why your hopium is going to be quite valid in a bull run. Whereas if you were in a bear market and your situation was pretty shady and, well, really dark, these things would have not mattered much, right? But you're in a bull trend, guys. So these things are opportunities. These things are areas of interest. These things are areas of minimal risks and highest rewards. This is why a lot of bots and algos and traders would be aligning their bias onto these key levels, right? Now let's jump on the daily time frame and check that out as well on Tezos against Bitcoin. Now guys, this is yet another key interesting, now quite interesting piece of price action. We are at a key inflection zone on the Tezos against BTC price action, guys. Now this is the 200 simple moving average, and you can see the price action is quite rejecting the 200 simple moving average, whereas you do have a interim bullish cross which has happened between the 21 and the 55 simple moving average, right? Now guys, this would have been a party on, this would have been a bullish continuation move had you actually closed and had you actually been trending over the 200 simple moving average right here. It seems to me like you're not really doing that on the daily time frame. So guys, now here's how the hierarchy is going on, right? You are bullish on the 3-day time frame, you are mildly bearish on the daily time frame. Now if we are going to be jumping into some further time frames, guys, okay, let's just say this is quite different from the daily, guys. This is quite different from the daily. The moving average structure is quite different from the daily, right? You're below the 200 and you have one single bullish cross, whereas on the 12-hour time frame you have 3 bullish crosses, guys. All right, you have 2 bullish cross happening onto these levels right here, right? Well, would that mean your risk management is completely fine onto these levels? Yeah, completely fine, guys. Now this is aligning with the 3-day time frame as well. Now the 900 Satoshi levels, sorry, 9,000 Satoshi levels on Tezos is going to be very significant. Now I guess the 9,000 Satoshi level is going to be completely aligning with your $5 support on Tezos. So guys, time to pay attention on Tezos. Even if you're holding this one for the midterm, if you're going to be trading this one, if you're potentially looking for a swing trade as well, the $5 levels are going to be extremely important. If the $5 levels are lost, most likely you'll be able to collect some fresh Tezos on some cheap levels, right? But if the $5 levels hold, guys, this is going to be most likely turning out to be a reaccumulation, and this entire range would result to the upside. And we're going to going on, and we'll be testing onto some key levels onto these levels also, guys, in the coming days. Now that's a far-fetched opinion. This is why we're going to be taking on some Fibonacci analysis here as well, guys. We are going to be taking a look at this single leg down move. This was the bear market for Tezos against Bitcoin, and the price never really recovered from these levels, right? So what are we dealing with right here? First and foremost, we have to take down the 0.236 extension happening around the 13,000 Satoshis levels, right? Once you do take this one out, this will officially be in a bull trend. This would officially be in a reversal move, guys. And when I do talk about the reversal, this is going to be aligning perfectly with the retracement of the golden ratio, which is the 618, guys. 618 is the golden ratio. 618 is the, guys, do your thesis on golden ratios as well. And golden ratios, golden ratios are universal numbers, guys. It's actually magical to actually read about these numbers. Quite interesting, and how this is actually happening in the trading universe is quite maddening as well. So once you really take down these levels right here, I don't think there's going to be much stopping all the way until these price points, right? Now we're standing right here. If you talk about these levels, this is going to be 165% move to the upside, which is going to be aligning most likely with your $13 to $14 level targets on Tezos on the USD pair as well, right? But guys, step by step, everything really has to happen step by step. On the 12-hour time frame, you're looking fine, to be honest with you. You did violate this flow to the downside, but potentially this could be a bearish trap as well. Until you are completely resolving this range to the downside, this could be a potential bear trap, guys, as your moving averages are sloped to the upside. This is how you determine your bear traps as well, guys. Look at these trends, look at the moving averages, look at the slope of these moving averages. Now the fastest moving average, the 21 simple moving average, has started inclining to the downside. whereas your higher moving averages are still bullishly crossed, they are still to the upside. This means that you're looking at some potential fuckery in the small time frames, in the 12 hour and the 10 hour and so on and so forth, right? And time frames which are lower than that. Guys, bullish cross is everywhere on this, right? So what is going to be your key risk management area? It's pretty simple, guys. If you're looking at daily closes below the 9,000 Satoshis level, that would mean that we are most likely going to be sweeping the lows back again, and until you're holding these points, you're going to be poised for a retest of these levels and potentially break out above these price points and head towards these levels, right? Which is going to be a 165% move to the upside onto these levels. But guys, look, this is what we are looking at in the coming days. You want this orange moving average to be bullishly crossing above the red moving average. The 55 has to cross above the 200. This is when this would really start picking to the upside. So being patient with Tezos is going to be the key to success, I guess, even for holding this one, right? Guys, now the last chart is going to be Tezos against Ethereum. Now this is the shittiest of all, guys. Isn't that expected? Isn't that really expected? Ethereum is really strong in the market. This is why most of the altcoins are not going to really perform amazing, or let's just say a lot of the altcoins are not going to be really bullish against Ethereum, guys. Now, are you formulating yet another bear pennant, guys? Now this is the bear trend right here. You could be looking at some continuation bear pennant right here. If you do break below these price points right here, guys, it's going to be an opportunity cost game right here. Then that means, right? So what does this price action signify? This means that if we are breaking below these levels right here, this is going to be a confirmed breakdown of this pennant, guys, and your bear pennant targets are going to be all the way. Oh, okay, we can't do this on a logarithmic values. Okay, it's completely crazy, right? Your bear pennant targets are going to be aligning with, okay, this not, guys, you're going to be paying some money to hold Tezos. No, guys, I think we're going to be hitting the floor all the way towards these price points right here. I guess the bear pennant target is not going to be relevant, so this is why we're going to be taking the channel breakdown targets, which is going to be aligning with these levels. You're going to be sweeping the range lows back again. So now comes the question. You're in a price discovery to the downside against Ethereum. Guys, if I just simply go ahead and just invert this chart right here, this looks quite bullish, right? This looks really bullish. Now this is what you want to be checking out. This is going to be looking at on the Tezos USD pair if you if you are a blind bull on Tezos, guys. Now, if you are going to be sweeping the range lows back again, most likely it will be an opportunity. Guys, look, there is not much way to go to the downside. And are you dealing with any divergence onto these levels? You are dealing with some significant divergence happening onto these levels, whereas your TSI is to the upside. Well, quite interesting kind of this price action is quite interesting right here, which means that your channel breakdown targets will be an opportunity, guys. Now watch for these levels to actually hold on Tezos against Ethereum right here. Watch for these levels to hold. If you hold on to these levels right here, guys, then Tezos is most likely going to be a better opportunity than Ethereum as well. Whereas if you keep on bleeding to the downside after the channel breakdown, if it really happens, if the channel really breaks down and you go to the downside, you constantly trend to the downside, you constantly bleed, your opportunity cost would be quite significant, guys. Now what do I mean by opportunity cost? It means that holding Ethereum itself would be a better thing, would be a rather better thing, rather than just simply looking at Tezos and watching your equity go down the gutter, right? Now, is this a bearish video? Guys, this is not a bearish video on Tezos. This is a complete all-round analysis as to what are the key inflection zones on Tezos as well. So, guys, if you resolve this one to the upside, the first and foremost retest is going to be of this diagonal triangle line. And, guys, most likely this will be aligning with the 200 simple on the 3-day time frame as well when we do come to retest these price points right here. So, potentially, if you do break this channel to the downside and you look for a long exposure on Tezos against Ethereum, this could be your potential trade to the upside for all the way about 300%. Now, guys, these things, they do depend on the market dynamics as well. Let's just say if Ethereum really rips to the upside, if Ethereum starts breaking $4,000 levels, goes to 5,000, 6,000, then Tezos would completely it will not stop bleeding, guys. Then that would mean Tezos will not stop bleeding, right? If Ethereum stays range bound, let's just say if Ethereum is going to be range bound between 3K to 2.5K, let's just say Ethereum is going to be range bound all the way until $2,000 from $3,000, then that would mean further incentivization for Tezos against Ethereum to start picking out to these levels. Until then, this is a bearish piece of price action. Most likely this is going to be continuing to the downside, but you could be looking at some significant reversal points as well. All right, guys, I think this was a pretty comprehensive outlook on Tezos against all the major pairs. Let me know down in the comments if you are holding Tezos, if you're trading Tezos, or if you are 10x long on Tezos, guys. That would have been a massive headache for you in the recent days, right? Alright, guys, join the Discord server so that we can have some further discussion on Tezos as well. I'm going to be catching you guys on the next video pretty soon. Bye for now.